Hey YouTube, Leveled Up Gaming here. I know it's been a while. Had a lot of stuff happen and bought a new house, had to remodel the new house, fix up the old house, and then holidays, and just been busy. Haven't gotten around to being able to make a video for a while, but thank y'all for sending those messages that you guys did, wondering how things are, and I replied to you guys, so, but yeah. But I'm back, still playing Digimon, and I got a fun BT7, not so BT7 deck profile for you. So yeah, we will get into that right now. Alright guys, so this is my current black Digimon deck profile, my deck that I've been playing with. A little bit of backstory: I went to my locals this past week, which was this past weekend, which was the release for BT7, and I wasn't able to participate in the previous week for the sneak peek event for BT7 Next Adventure, and so I didn't have access to any of the new stuff going into this tournament, and everyone there was basically playing all the new stuff. Everyone was playing basically hybrids or X antibody, or those things that come in this newest set. I have since then gotten some of the cards from that new set, but at the time frame I had none. But I built a deck with what I had from BT6 and earlier, and I ended up taking third place at a almost 30 plus player tournament. So yeah, I was quite surprised on how well I did, but I have some very unique card choices, and basically this deck is very combo black, combo slash toolbox. And it just did really well. So I'm going to start out with the babies. So we've got 4 of the Pagumon and 1 of the Caporimon. Just the extra draw on the deletion is usually what you want. They're not draw, but the revealing the top, and basically like a draw if it's a Digimon. And then the blocker. And for this deck I did go back to a little bit of my roots of black blocker, but with a little bit of toolbox in it, and it worked out excellent. We are running, in the rookies, we are running 4 of the Sunriseamon. Really good card. I like this card a lot. Your level 6s in here can get up to that 13 DP really easily, and so this guy's just really good for that. I've had him out on the field just for the extra piercing, or as an inheritable underneath for that security. Both I used in the tournament. It was a 5-round tournament, so yeah, that we had a lot of games to play, so yeah, he worked both ways and really well. Next up, only 2 Toyagumon. I found that I didn't necessarily need that reboot all the time, but the reason for only 2 is because of this new guy right here, basically stepping on a Lego brick, if any of you guys know what that is. The security, I saw him multiple times in the security during the event, and yeah, they worked really well. But I had to make room for him, and then still keeping 2 memory tamers, or not memory tamers, memory negators. In the past I have not really ran many of him, but these guys put in work. They are really good. Yeah, because of him just sitting out on the field, won me a few games because of that. So that is it for the rookies. For the level 4s, we got 2 Mechanorimon. Basically good against, basically, I was thinking going into this tournament of all the hybrids, people using the Digimon that Digivolve on top of a tamer, and I was looking at all their DP, and this guy gets around it, especially with the tamers that we play, you know, that plus 1000 DP, so he's sitting at 7000 DP most of the time, and there's the basically anti-rookie rush stuff that Yellow does. Yellow does a lot of rookie rush right now. So yeah, the 2 Mechanorimons, tech here, just being able to get him out from the security. I didn't see it all but once, I think, but is, you know, still 3 cost drop, not bad. More blockers. We got 4 of the Dark Tyrannomon from the structure deck. The blocker, 1 cost to Evo, still really good. And blocker, you know, a lot of this is blocker. And then 4 copies of Shademon, coming from the security. I saw this a few times, and the cool thing about him is if he pops out from the security, you can still block with him that turn. So it's just really, really cool. The one downside is he can't attack, and he's only at 5000 DP, or 6000 when you have Taikamiya out. But yeah, he's really good. I like the security effect. As you can tell, there's quite a few security effect cards in here. So, because I knew my opponents were going to be wailing on the... there's a lot of... Other than the new black X antibody, or if you're running the new Jesmon, there's a lot of just single attack or just 2 security checks, and so having those extras like popping out to stop the next attack with Shademon, really good. Now this is when it gets a little bit toolboxy. So playing 2 Gagomon just for the extra DP, and then getting that little bit of Digiburst that you can do sometimes with the beforehand, and then Digivolving on top of it, and that increase stays with them, just to be over that threshold for Sunriseamon. That does help, as well as getting over other cards too. 2 of the Megadramon for the blocker, inheritable blocker. I don't know if I really utilize this at all, but it's still a really good option to have. Actually, I did use it once. I Digivolved into a level 7 and had that sitting out on the board and utilized the blocker with it. And then 2 Mamemon. This card I feel is so good because, like, with a blocker, you block with it. I'll show you the combos at the end, but Mamemon, really good, really good. And then one fun card I had in here was Rebellion. He counted as black as well, can Digivolve on black. And then that just blocker and then retaliation. Basically, if I, you know, it did help, the retaliation. So, opponent had a big board on, or big guy on the field, and went into him and sat there with a blocker retaliation. He didn't want to attack that turn, so, and he basically passed for turn and gave me 3, so he couldn't do anything without giving me too much memory and just sat there with it. So yeah, that really, I like him, not bad. One downside is though that if you Digivolve with him down in the breeding area, you know, he doesn't count as black then, so that's one downside. Sorry about the glare. The new area, new room. Level 6s. We're running 3 Craniumon, just for that blocker and protecting all of your other blockers, which there's a lot of other blockers in there. Really good. I still wish it was, you know, 3 cost to Evo, but it is what it is. Still a really good card. That, and he's a Royal Knight, which works. Basically, we're playing a Royal Knight level 6 package with 2 Genkumon and 2 Alphamon. The Genkumon deleted perfectly. I played him perfectly. There was one game that when I brought him out, it deleted 4 Digimon with just 1, because it deletes the lowest one. He had 4 Digimon with play cost of 4 out there, and just board wiped him with that. He scooped after that. So yeah, there was that. And then Alphamon, more times than not, I just swing with him, gang the 2 memory, and just utilize him for later on. He works well with the Sunriseamon, increasing his own attack. You just pay 2 memory, increase it to 13, then he gets the extra security attack. He's really good. I still really like him. So, I always kept forgetting, though. There's 2 times I forgot to add him to my hand when he got hit in security. But it didn't really matter. I still ended up winning. But for level 7s, so everyone was running hybrids, and so 2 anti-tamers. And yes, these guys over the weekend messed up so many tamers and put in so much work. My opponent did not realize how, most of the time, they did not realize how versatile this guy was for that. Especially with a lot of people playing hybrids and burning through their tamers, and then me deleting those Digimon and then going into this and deleting their other backup tamer. So yeah, really, really good. Really good. And then the last level 7 is Omnimon Zwart, just normal Zwart. Basically board present, and then returning the level 6 back to the hand. So yeah, he's really good. I like that lineup. So I didn't really, my tournament was not playing any side, but they were doing mulligans. They weren't doing the side stuff, but they were doing mulligans. I did have to do a mulligan a few times because I would brick. If it wasn't for mulligans, I probably would have lost like a game or 2 more. But otherwise, deck bricks just a little bit, not too bad though. And then on for the tamers, got 2 of the Tai Kamiya for extra DP and then the memory, and then this Tai Kamiya. So good. I keep forgetting that you don't have to use it on the Digimon that blocks. You can use it on any of your Digimon that's suspended. So, and one really fun, I'll show that later, but he's really good. For our options, 2 Ultimate Flare and 2 Iron Fist Onslaught. Yes, heavy play cost, but it slows down your opponent so much. And if you play it right, with the memory, you can give your opponent just a little bit of memory. If you have him on the field and you do it at the start, you slow him down. You're having something already in the raising area, ready to push out and go. It does work really well. So that is it for the deck, but for those combos, this and any blocker. So your opponent attacks, you block, you do this to restand him, and even if it was let's just say your opponent is attacking you with something really big, like this, like an Omnimon's Wart, for instance, and they have something else on the field, you pop this guy, and then it pops the other one, and he still lives. And then he can still block another time that turn. I did this so many times because on deletion, when you delete them, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost of 7 or less. That basically gets rid of about 80%, 80 or 90% of level 5s out on the field. Like anything level 5 or lower. And just really good. And I found that, sometimes when you have a bad hand, or you get him out of security, playing him for 3 and digivolving on top of that, really not that bad. And then you have this really good protection out there. And just being able to protect your blockers and then restand your blockers, it slowed down my opponent so much that they didn't know what to do and they ran out of resources, and I was able to just pick them off. And it worked so well against hybrids. So yeah, but yeah, I did not have any BT7 going into this. If this is the deck that I continue to use, I'll probably make room for maybe 2 of the 2-drop black tamers, or the 2 digivolve on top of the tamer, the 2-1, because sometimes when you have both of these guys out, they're kind of redundant, or you don't really need to you just need him just to go for game. You can just digivolve on top of this guy and go. So, and it works really well. So I might make room for like 2 of them. Excuse me. The deck, though, funny thing enough, the deck, now that I have cards for it, the deck that I'm wanting to build is the X Antibody. I have a bunch of cards for it, I just have not built it yet. I'm still waiting on 2 more Doragoromons, but yeah, this is the deck I want to play. But funny enough, in the final round, I played against it with this deck and 2-0'd it. So, just, yeah, I was surprised that I 2-0'd it, because, this is a really fun, powerful deck, but this is the deck I wanted to build going into this tournament, but I didn't have the cards for it at the time frame. But I was just amazed that I was able to beat it with this blocker toolbox build that I have. So yeah, that is it for the deck profile. Very fun deck. I've played black so much that I don't ever really want to step away from black, but I love the blocker aspect. It was a little bit more challenging with learning all the new stuff that people had, because I had not been, I'd not played much of it for a little while and then got back into it, but it was a lot of fun, and I surprised myself on how well this deck is. I really like Mamemon, but it is kind of a bummer getting rid of a level 5 to do all that stuff, but when you're wiping out an opponent's card and keeping your own blocker there, it's really good. I still like it. So yeah, that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you all in the comments.